welcome back to our last free live tutorial about these moving crochet hats. And today's focus is the Dino hat, which has some similarities to the one we did yesterday, specifically the eyes. The eyes are the exact same thing for the turkey as they are for the Dino. So we're going to skip that part because we talked about that yesterday, but we're going to cover the rest of it. How's it going, everyone? I am so excited that you're here. Make sure that you are sharing so that way we can hopefully get to 100 viewers and therefore give away 3 prizes. That would be amazing to give away 3 prizes, right? Anyway, so we're first going to focus on the Dino hat, and then we're going to focus on the rest of them, and at the very end we're going to give away some prizes. So are you ready to get started? Ooh, I am so excited. These are so popular right now. These make fantastic gifts, so I sure hope you grab the collection because the sale ends tonight. So make sure you do that so that way you don't miss anything. All right, so let me swoop around so you can see what I see. All right, let's talk about the Dino hat, which you can see is mostly done in this green color right here. So the hat part and the extension parts are pretty much the same as the witch hat, which you already have a video tutorial for. So that one is free to view on my website and my YouTube channel. And you will see that the only difference is obviously that there's no front loop or back loop happening here, which you did have to do for the witch hat, but over here it doesn't happen, okay? But the rest of it is exactly the same. You go by measurements. There are some questions in terms of how to make it smaller. There is a reference guide included in the pattern, so like a reference table on how to change it up for other sizes. The other thing I do want to point out that I designed these for adults, okay, or like let's say teens, adults kind of thing, okay? Because these pieces may only fit for the adult size. If you're making it for a smaller size, you may have to shrink some of these pieces down. And of course, you also may have to, extend the arms a little bit because if you are making the beanie smaller, it may mean that you have to make the extension longer. But again, that all depends on where you're adding the arms, okay? So I hope that answers that part of the question, but I do want to point out if you are making the beanie smaller, you may have to make some of these pieces smaller, and I didn't write the patterns that way. So, but if you want to adjust it, you can. You have the base pattern, so that way it makes it easy peasy. And as I said, I included a reference table, so you could make it smaller. I would not include, I wouldn't make it for toddlers or anything. That might be too small, and then the pieces might be too big. And if you have problems with that, adjusting it. But I definitely think for a young teen or to adult, this would definitely work perfectly fine. Okay. All right. So let's talk about for a second what we're going to cover today. So I'm going to show you how to get started on the arms, and then also the pointy things here. What do I call them? I forgot what I named these. The horns. Yes, that's what I called them. I was like, what did I name them? Okay, the horns. So, which by the way, go all the way till the end. Okay, so literally all the way down. So all of these are stuffed, and they're exactly the same from each other. So they are kind of aligned in a line. Aligned in a line. That sounds fun. They're aligned. Okay, so they're literally go in a line backwards, and you can see that it's about like a single crochet width in between, if that makes sense. If I kind of split up, so you can see it's not a full row in between, just a little less than that. So I would say it's about single crochet height. Over here it is almost a full row, but again, over here it's a little bit smaller. They're aligned with each other. Spikes, yes, or horns, whatever, right? I mean, it really depends. I think some of the dinos had horns. Anyways. So then we're also going to cover the snout. So the snout we kind of covered in the last few days, but I'm going to cover it again because I feel like that's an important one that some crocheters need a little extra help with, and me saying it again may be beneficial for you, so that way you have an easy time crocheting this, okay? But all of these pieces are very straightforward. I'm going to be skipping the eyes because I just covered that yesterday and I don't want to bore you. So if you were here yesterday, go go, review that part of it. I will guide you through it verbally just in a second here. So the black parts, the pupils, are done in magic ring and 12 double crochet stitches. Then close it up, and so that starts with a magic ring, right? And then close it up, and you have your circle, right, on both of these. And then for the white part, you start with a magic ring and 12 double crochet stitches, and then you do slip stitches. The next round will be 2 double crochet stitches per stitch, and then the last round it's 1 double and then 2 doubles. There's always a slip stitch at the very end, which I like to do the invisible way, so that way it's clean and it looks like a smooth transition. Then you pretty much put them on the exact same way as we did yesterday for the turkey, and you literally just kind of put it to the inside part. You see that it's not in the center or on the outside, it's on the inside part, and you could add a little line to it if you wanted to. For the dino, I skipped that part. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with the arms, then I transition over to the horns, and then we're going to do the snout. Okay, and if there's any questions whatsoever, you let me know. I'm going to pick my gray again, which is what I did yesterday. So staying consistent here, so therefore you can see it easily. Let me zoom in just a tad. Okay, so the arms. So let me pull that up. I have that here next to me. Okay. So we're going to do the arms first, and so we're going to start with a magic ring. So this is how I do my magic ring. So I cross this over, insert my hook, pull this through, and then adjust my yarn, okay, and put my ring finger into the ring like so. So it keeps it nice and has a tension to it, right? So even if I let go, by the way, after making my chain of 1, everything stays nice in place, okay? So keep your ring finger in, so therefore you have nice tension. Okay, we're going to add 6 single crochets to the ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, then you're going to close up your ring, and I like to use my yarn end as a stitch marker. And then in the next round, we're going to crochet 2 single crochet stitches per stitch all the way around. Okay, so it's literally 2 single crochet stitches per stitch. I'm just going to show you the end result. Whoopsie daisy, lost my loopy there. And when you get to the end, let me continue doing that. Hold on. We're going from 6 stitches to 12 stitches because we're adding, 2 stitches per stitch. So it is 12 stitches at this point. Now, once you reach that, you're going to continue crocheting 1 single crochet per stitch until you have 17 rounds in total. Then you're done with the arms. Obviously, you have to make 2 of them because there's 2 arms, right? But that's how you're going to crochet this. Now, for the horns. So let me show you again. So this is then how it looks like in the end, right? So 17 rounds in total. And I'll talk about how to attach it shortly, so that way it makes it easy peasy, okay? So let's transition into the horns. You start the same way with 6 single crochets to the ring. And then the round 2 is going to be different though, okay? So once you have your 6 single crochets in a ring and you move up your stitch marker from the magic ring after you closed it, you're going to go into the next round, and the next round is going to be 1 single crochet and then another single crochet, and then it's an increase. So 2 single crochet stitches. Okay, and then you start this over. So 1 single crochet in 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet stitches after that. Okay, so you can see that in this round we had 2 increases, which means we go from 6 to 8 stitches because we added 2 additional stitches. Then you're going to move up your stitch marker. Okay, at this point you might see that it's curling a little bit. You guys need to curl it in a way that the outside, the pretty side, is on the outside. Okay, so right side out. So make sure of that. I have seen some crocheters not realizing that it's being turned. You're not supposed to be working on the inside of your work. You're supposed to be working on the outside of your work. Okay, so now go into the next round, and in that round you're going to do 1 single crochet in 3 stitches now. So previous row was 2, now it's going to be 3, so you're adding 1 extra stitch to it. Okay, then the following stitch is going to be an increase again, so that one number you add one every round. So here you go, 1 single crochet in 3 stitches, and then it's 2 single crochet stitches after that. Okay, then you're going to pull up your stitch marker and you go into the next round. So this continues on until you go to round 9, which then says 1 single crochet in 9 stitches with an increase after. Do that twice. So that's how far you're going to go. So you're going to keep doing this, meaning you're going to do an increase on top of an increase every single round. So there's 2 increases per round, and then you're going to, after you finished round 9, you're going to do round 10, which is 1 single crochet per stitch, and that's it. You're going to do in exactly 6 horns. Okay, I call them horns, you call them spikes, I don't care. Okay, so you're going to make 6 of them, and then you also stuff them before you sew them on. I'll talk about the sewing part in just a second. Okay, so that will be the horn part of it. So now let's go into the snout part, which is the part that is usually the hardest for most crocheters, but it is not that hard once you get used to it. Okay, hang on, I just moved my paper the wrong way. I don't have my pattern memorized, so I have to have it visually in front of me. Okay, so there are 2 different ways to get started on the snout, and I'm going to remind you today again how to do both versions, so that way you can see the difference. Okay, so I'm going to do both, just like I did in the very first video, but in case you weren't seeing that, I'm just going to do a quick reminder. Okay, so first I'm going to show you the way it's written, and then I'm going to show you the way I prefer doing. So there's 2 different ways. You have the end results the same. One is a little tighter, prettier looking. The other one, you know, is a little bit holy. But again, it's up to you how you're going to do it. Okay, so we're going to do first the version that it's written down. So make a chain of 8. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you're going to start from the second chain from the hook. Please go into the back bump of your work. So let me remind you, front loop, back loop, and then you turn it slightly and there's the back bump. Okay, that's what you're going into. You're going to start from the second chain from the hook, and you're going to crochet 3 single crochets into that stitch. So 1, 2, and 3. Then from there, you're going to crochet 1 single crochet per chain until you have 1 left. Okay, so you need to have 1 left, and then we're going to do what we just did one more time, and I'll show you what that means. So here I'm doing 1 single crochet per stitch. After that second chain from the hook had 3. Okay, so that means after that I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 single crochets in a row. Then I had 1 left, and here we go. We're going to do what we just did. So that's going to mean 3 single crochet stitches in that very last stitch. So now naturally, because we're adding that many stitches, we're kind of turning our work 180 degrees. And that's what you need to do, because we're actually going in rounds here. Okay, so you're now going to go into the last 5 stitches, meaning the same ones that you already used for the single crochets over here, you're going to use again on the other side. Make sure you're not going in the last one again, you're going into the next one. You can here weave in your ends here at the same time if you like. So that will be 5 single crochet stitches left, 1 per stitch. Okay, so, and then I'm going to show you in a second how to do a different version of that, and then we're going to go into the other rounds. Okay, so this would be one version. You can see that there's a little bit of a gap happening here, especially where the 3 single crochets happen. Do you guys can see that there? I don't know how to hold it so you can see it a little bit better. Do you see that hole there? There's like a hole, right? On either side where the single crochet stitches are, the 3 of them. And then in between, you can kind of pull this here, right? So it makes it a little bit gappy. Now, you would be like, why would I be pulling it? Well, you are going to stuff it later, so there's going to be some tension that appears, right? So you are going to see those holes later when you are crocheting, when you're stuffing it and sewing it on. So let me show you a different version of the first round if you prefer it, okay? Okay, so if you don't like those gaps, I'm going to show you here another version. So let me show you, okay? Nana says, crocheting the back bump is a huge and nice game changer for yarn. I totally agree with you on that. Let's see. It rains badly. Oh no, that's not good. But rain is a nice thing if it's been dry for a while. All right, let me show you a different version of round one. Okay, so what you're gonna need to do on round one is you need a longer yarn tail. Okay, and you're gonna start with a slip knot. And from there, you are going to use both yarns. That means the yarn end and the running yarn. You're going to use at the same time, okay? So you are going to do 7 stitches because that's how many you need for that first round. Now, if you're starting with a chain, it's going to be chain of 8 and starting from the second chain from the hook. See, you're skipping that first one, right? Here, you don't have to skip anything because you are literally just crocheting those stitches and then you're going immediately into it. So let me show you what that means. You're creating a mini I-cord as a foundation, okay? So you're going to have your running yarn and you have your yarn end. You're going to hold your thumb on your slip knot so it doesn't twist because you are going to turn this and you don't want to twist it away, okay? So here we go. Yarn over front to back with the yarn end, and you're going to take your yarn that is your running yarn and pull it through. You have your very first stitch done. It's kind of like a chain and a slip stitch at the same time, okay? So now again, yarn over, then yarn over with this guy and pull it through. So let me say it's slightly different. Front to end with the yarn end, and then with the running yarn, you pull it through. So that's 3 stitches so far. Now let's do 7 in total. This would be 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so that's 7 stitches as a foundation. And now let's crochet around the exact same thing we just did on the chain, but on this one, because it's going to make it a little tighter and therefore cleaner. So let me show you what I mean. So without making a chain of 1 or anything, I'm going straight into the last stitch I just made, and we're going to crochet 3 single crochet stitches into it. So here will be 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to go into the next 5 stitches and we're going to crochet 1 single crochet per stitch. So 1, 2, 3, hang on, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, there we go, 5 stitches. Now in the last stitch, we're going to crochet 3 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. Ta-da! Okay, so now we are going on the opposite side, just like we did with the chain. We're working on the other side, so 180-degree turn. And now we're going to crochet into those stitches again. This time we're going to do again 1 single crochet per stitch. So there should be 5 of them left. 1, 2, 3. And then this will be here 4 and 5. So you can go in continuous rounds or you can do it a slip stitch. I'm going to do it a slip stitch because it's going to look cleaner a little bit in the end. But again, you can also do continuous rounds. It doesn't really matter. So once you have your 5 done, you're going to find your very first stitch. So pull up your loop, then take off your hook and go into the very first stitch right here, front to back to front, okay? Back to front. Then you're going to take your loop and put it on, and you're going to pull it through like that. Okay, so with that, you're now going to go into the next round. So that's your invisible slip stitch. It's kind of a relocation of the loop, but it functions as a slip stitch because they're connected now. Okay, so now let's go into the next round. Okay, in the next round, we're going to do 1 single crochet stitch. Excuse me, 2 single crochet stitches. Yes, it's 2 single crochet stitches in 3 stitches. Okay, because we made in the previous round 3 single crochet stitches right there. Okay, so now we're going to do into those 3 single crochet stitches, which is like a half circle here, makes a full circle, and we have a rectangle in the middle, turning the entire thing into an oval, right? So anyways, you're going to do 2 single crochet stitches for the next 3 stitches. So you should have 6 over here now. Then you're going to do your 1 single crochet per stitch in those 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so 5 stitches right there. And now we're going to do what we just did. So whatever you just did, you're going to repeat 1 more time. So there's 2 repeats per round, okay? So here we go. We're going to do 2 single crochet stitches in the next 3 stitches. So this is the second and this is the third set. So again, I made 6 single crochet stitches, 2 per stitch for 3 stitches, and then we have 5 stitches left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Do you see the oval happening? Okay, so again, you're going into the very first stitch right here. So from the back to the front, and then pull that loop back, and it makes it nice and smooth transition, right? Okay, so you're gonna do a few more rounds. I'm gonna show you one more round of increases, and then the next following rounds I'm just gonna guide you through it because it's very easy after that. Okay, feel free to add some stitch markers if you like, but the pattern is written out very cleanly. So here we go. We're gonna do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then 2 single crochet stitches after that. Now you're gonna repeat that 2 more times because we have 3 sets over here, right? So we're going to do 1 single crochet stitch, then 2 single crochet stitches, and then one more time, 1 single crochet stitch, then 2 single crochet stitches. Now here in that center, right, where that rectangular part is, so if I take this away, this looks like a rectangle, right? That is going to be your 5 stitches. Nothing changes there on the 5 stitches, okay? There's no increase or decrease. So here we go. 1 single crochet in 5 stitches. Whoops, and there we go. And so I have here my 5 done. Now I'm going again into that half circle right there, okay? So in that half circle would be 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochet stitches. You do that 3 times in total. So 1 and then 2, and then again 1 and 2 single crochet stitches. Now you have here 5 stitches left, okay? So it will be 1 single crochet in 5 stitches. Then you're going to make your slip stitch, and then you're going into the next round. So let me make my slip stitch so you can see again how it works. You go through the very first stitch, back to the front, and then pull that loop back like so. Whoops, I lost it. There we go. There it is. Okay, and then in the following round, you're going to do, instead of 1 single crochet in 2 stitches, you're going to do 1 single crochet in 2 stitches, then 2 single crochet stitches in the next. So let me say that again. In this set right here, it's going to be 3 sets, right? So 1 single crochet in 2 stitches, then an increase. You do that 3 times, then 1 single crochet in 5 stitches, and then you repeat that entire set 1 more time on the other side. Then you have 1 more round of increases, which would be 1 single crochet in 3 stitches and an increase. You do that 3 times in total over here, then 1 single crochet in 5 stitches, repeat that entire set 1 more time, and then you have from round 6 through 10, it's just going to be 1 single crochet per stitch. How's that? It's easy, isn't it? Right? So look at this pretty little oval. I like it. It looks adorable. All right, Shelly says, I'm not sure if it's the way for everyone, but the video is constantly buffering, so I can't even watch what you're doing. Shelly, that usually means you have a slow internet connection, okay? That could be weather related or internet connection related. My internet on my side is extremely fast, so maybe check that out. Beverly says, is there a need for that long piece of yarn to start with? You just need a little extra. I made a little bit too much. That little extra was only because of that foundation, Beverly, just so that I can wrap it, right? Now, mine is a little bit long. You probably don't need that much. You can weave in the ends after. I personally just let it hang at this point because it's going to be part of my polyfill. You don't even have to weave this part in. Just tuck it in when you have your polyfill added, and it kind of gets rid of that, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. So are there any more questions about this pattern specifically? I just want to make sure everyone is good on this. Does anyone have any questions on the crocheting part? I'm going to guide you through the sewing part now. So let me do that. Okay. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Whee! Is this zoomed out enough? Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so let's talk about the sewing parts of it, okay? So you're going to add your air pumps right here. So this is one of the air pumps, right? Let me make it a tad brighter. That was darker, not brighter, Nikki. Okay, let's do that again. There we go. Okay, so once you add your air pump into it, so this is the bulb part, you push that through. You can even add that before you close this up. It makes it maybe easier, but you are able to take it out. This is why this is wide, okay? So you're able to take this out for washing purposes, okay? You can. So once you take this out, you can wash the entire thing. Just take both of them out, of course, okay? You would wash it the same way as you would probably an amigurumi, because this one has polyfill inside. So however you're taking care of your amigurumi, this will be the same way how you would take care of this hat, okay? So once this is on the inside, you are going to push it through in round, let's count from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think it's round 4. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, yeah, I think it's around 4, and you're going to squeeze it through 2 double crochet, like the stitch between 2 of them. So there's 2 double crochet stitches, one here, and you squeeze it right through, okay? That creates this gap. It's kind of stretching your stitches a little bit, but you can't see that on the outside, so don't worry about that, okay? You just push it through until that bend happens, right? That's how far you're going to go. Once you have it pushed through those 2 double crochet stitches, you're going to put that arm on like a sleeve, okay? And you're going to sew it around it like an oval. Do not flatten this out and crochet back and forth. Okay, first of all, you are going to pop this guy, and you don't want that. Also, you want to be able to take this out, okay? So you're going to sew it on in an oval shape around it, okay, without poking your air pump, okay? Do not poke this. I use a blunt needle to prevent me from poking it. Do not use a pokey needle. It's automatically, it won't work anymore if you do that, okay? So anyways, you go around it and you sew this on. You do this obviously evenly on both sides. Always add anything facial or whatever you're adding to your hat after you added your extensions. They come first. So beanie, then extensions, then you add everything else. So that way everything is aligned, right? You want to make sure everything is aligned. So these ones are pretty much perpendicular to each other, if that makes sense. These are perpendicular to each other, and then these ones also, right? They kind of line up to each other, if that makes sense, okay? So anyways, so once you have both sides done, now it's time to add the rest. So what I did is I lined up my snout, which we just talked about, right in the center, right? So you put it right in the center, you add your polyfill on the inside, and you're going to go around it like an oval. So this is kind of a big version on how this one is sewn on. Same oval shape, right? You sew around it in an oval, okay? Same way over here. Before you finish, stuff this guy, of course, okay? So what I like to do is I have like and it's written in the pattern too, it talks about in the very beginning of the ebook, it talks about if you have some kind of foam head, which you can get at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or whatever, you can get very affordably for a few dollars. You put this on and then you can pin it down with some U-pins or something like that, and then you can sew it on as it's pinned down. So that way you can make sure that everything is straight. You know how that sometimes happens when you lay it out and then you sew it and then you look at it after and like, oh, that's not straight. So if you have it on your foam head and it's pinned down, it makes sewing easier. So a little side tip on the side here, side tip. Anyways, so once that is done, then you're going to add your eyes because we want to make sure that they're lined up too, but you need your snout first, right? So snout, then the eyes. So put that on, and then you're going to add your horns at the very end. As you can see, I lined this one up right above the eyes, and then I lined up the rest of them in a line backwards, pretty much. Like there's just like almost like a single crochet space in between, like a half a row or so is kind of in between here. You can see that this one's almost a full row, but they are lined up nicely and evenly. Again, if you have a foam head, you put it on the inside and you can pin all these down. Again, these are sewn on in an oval shape, okay, with some polyfill on the inside. And then you're done. If you want to add some nostrils to it, you can if you wanted to. Some of you guys were thinking about turning the Dino into a dragon by simply changing out the arms. You're welcome to do that. You can't sell the pattern that way because it's still my pattern. However, you can do it for your own personal use. If you want to change this up and change it into a wing instead, then you have a dragon, right? Isn't that fun? Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. Let's see. Angela says it's buffering on our end. I don't know what's going on. It's good on my end, you guys. Seems like a Facebook issue. I noticed that Facebook was a little bit late in getting started. So I feel like there was a few seconds missing at the beginning. So I think it's a Facebook issue. Why don't you hop over to my YouTube channel if you're on Facebook? Terry, Angela, who else is you I see? And Shelly, you guys all on Facebook. Hop over to YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Nikki's Homemade Crafts, and tap on streams or live or whatever it is. And then watch it from there. Maybe there's a better connection. Maybe Facebook's having some issues, okay? I highly recommend hopping over to YouTube. If you're on Facebook, hop over to YouTube so you can see it non-buffering. Because it looks like the side, what I can see here is it's fine on the YouTube side. Okay, so are we good on the Dino part? Are there any questions on the Dino? Let me know if there are. I'm going to swoop over so that way we can talk about the rest of them. I am so excited about these hats. It's so cute. They turned out amazing and extremely popular. And today's also the very last day to save $15 with that coupon code and with the link up there. I'm going to pop the link into the comments real quick so that way in case anyone wants to grab it, go check it out, okay? So let's go through the rest of these hats together one by one so that way you can see it in perfection a little bit close up, okay? So we have, of course, the very first one was the witch hat, which you probably have seen in the mystery crochet along. That was the mystery crochet along we did. It was super duper fun. It was broken up into 3 parts, okay? And so it has first the beanie, then we did the extensions, which in this case seems to be the legs, and we also did the arms, and at the very end we did the hat, the hair, and the face, and the little bit of a, like, let's call it a dress or a skirt, however you want to call it for this witch, right? Because that part's a little bit shrunken up, but it's super cute. It turned out adorable. A lot of people love the witch, which is fantastic. I'm really excited, and the witch is kind of waving at you, right, with its broomstick. Now you're welcome to add a wand to it if you like. So yeah, there's many different ways now you can change this up. Lynn has a question about the air pumps. So that question I get a lot. It's on Amazon, but you need to know a specific term. So the best way to do it is check out my patterns. There are a few of them that are free to view on my website that have the link specifically in the material section. Just go to my website if you just want to check some of them out, like this one. If you go to the witch hat, which is free to view on my website, nikkishomemade.com, you go there and you go to the material section. All the material sections are always clickable, and there is a link for the air pumps. From there, you go over. Now, if you want to get all of the patterns, then you're going to get the ebook, because that one also has the links in there, and I'll show it to you in a second as well, okay? So the best way is Amazon. I've looked everywhere else. I haven't found it. Amazon is the place to get it. So if you don't like Amazon, I apologize, but that is the place to get it. No one else has it. But I found them all for you, and I made it an easy peasy way for you to get them. Okay, let's go to the next hat, okay? This one is also really, really popular. It's the zebra hat, and you can probably see that there are some similarities. It's not exactly the same as the Dino, especially the snout part of it, right? This is super fun. I love the zebra. It turned out so great. Next to the witch, this was actually the second one I finished, and I absolutely love how it turned out. The black and white transition from one to another with the cute little ears moving back and forth. It's so cute. I love it. Okay, let's go to the next one. This one is the turkey. We kind of covered that one yesterday. You can see how the eyes are pretty much the same, besides a little white line there. The glint, that part is different from the Dino, but you could add it to the Dino too if you wished. It is absolutely so much fun to make this one. It looks like Gina got the ebook. Let's go. Oh, Jeanette, so sorry. Jeanette, yay! I'm so excited for you. Awesome. Okay, if you got the ebook, let me know. I put the link up here, and the QR code is here, and I put it also in the comments as well, so description. Okay, so let's go to the next one. So as I said, this is the turkey hat right here. Then we also have the sheep, which is also very popular. Well, you could call the lamb too. Sheep, lamb, you call it whatever you like. For me, it's a sheep. But if you want to call it a lamb, then maybe it's a lamb for you, okay? I don't care. It's super cute and adorable. It's really, really cozy. It's the only one I use in number 6 yarn for the white part of it. Okay, the gray and the black are still worsted yarn. Everything else, the white part of it, pretty much as I said, is the number 6 yarn, but it also has some bobble stitches around, so really making it sheep / lamb like. And I added a little bit of human blush, you know, the blush right here, to the ears to make it a little bit cuter, right? You could have crocheted that one if you want, but I felt like I wanted to mix it up a little bit, so this one has human blush on it. Obviously, if you wash it, you may have to add it back. Keep that in mind, okay? Then we also have this popular scarecrow. I showed you yesterday what I used as inspiration, my own pattern. I made a scarecrow before as an amigurumi, as a doll, and this one was used for that pattern here as the inspiration. It has blue pants, it has brown shoes, it has the straws all over, which is all the yellow parts of it. Of course, the face, the arms, the orange part is supposed to be the shirt, right? We have some patches, we have a cute little hat on top, and it's adorable. Now, I didn't add the crow to it because this guy's moving. If you would move something, the crow would probably fly off, right? So I didn't add a crow, but if you wanted to add a crow, you can, okay? It's super cute. Rebecca says, I can't wait to make the sheep. Yes, I can't wait to see it. The amount of questions, or better, messages and emails I've gotten about making a sheep is crazy. Literally for the last several months, I've been getting questions like, can you just make a sheep? I want a sheep. Someone was even asking that for the tissue box cover. They wanted a sheep. I didn't make a sheep. And I was like, okay, maybe we'll make a sheep here. So there you go. You got your sheep. Sherry says she got the ebook earlier. Yay! I'm so happy for you. I can't wait to see it. She says her daughter loves the foxes and her son loves the pigs and wants the shark. Sounds like your son wants multiple things. You're gonna be busy, girl. I'm so happy for you. And then the wife of the Spartan runner. I kind of like that one. Like your name. She got volumes 1 and 2 yesterday. Whoop whoop! I'm so excited for you. All right, let's hop to the next moving hat. It's this guy right here, which is the robot. It's one of my favorite, hence it is on the cover. It is so adorable. It's so cute. The antennas are similar, not the same, as the arms and the mouth part in the front. Well, mouth, you know what I mean, right? I mean, robots don't really have mouths, but it's kind of like, you know, the lines, the waves of the robot, that something is working on its side, and the arms are like lovers, right? Oh my gosh, so cute. I love it so much. Anyways, let's go to the next one. Maxine says a hummingbird would be cute. Probably. I didn't even think about a hummingbird, but what is the difference? It's just the wings moving and the huge long beak there in the front. That would be fun. Maybe in the future I'll make some more unique ones. But anyways, how about this guy right here? We have a one-eyed monster. Now, some of you guys were thinking this was inspired by Monsters Inc. It wasn't actually. And actually, if you look at Monsters Inc., you will see, I don't think this guy on Monsters Inc. has ears. Mine do. Oh, mine does. I just wanted a big giant eye in the front. I wanted a green monster, and I wanted something move, so that would be the ear part of it. It's so cute and adorable. I love it. Maxine says, I love the way he looks like he's moving. I totally agree. The robot definitely looks like he's moving. I love it. And of course, he had to have 2 antennas at the front there. Which volume is the fox hat? This one right here. I'll show it to you in a second so you can see it. Are we getting to the fox one? Yes, in a couple of them we're going to get to the fox. Okay, we have a ladybug right here with the moving antennas. Isn't it so cute? I I love it. Beverly says, what about a goat? I don't have a goat, but I personally think you could probably turn that sheep into a goat. Let's be clear, changing up the colors a little bit. It could be a goat, right? I'm just saying a little bit similar, not the same, obviously, but similar. But this one is an adorable one, right? With the moving antennas. First, I was thinking about moving the wings, but it would have been too big, right? Because the wings are like the entire body. That would have been also very warm and may not lay flat with the pumps, right? So I didn't want to do that. It would have looked a little weird in my opinion. So I was like, you know what? A ladybug has antennas that move around, right? Like, they need to know where they're going. All right, so the antenna is moving for the ladybug. And then we have the horsey. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, my voice just cracked. I love the horsey. It is so adorable. Now, I didn't add hair on the back, but feel free to do that, okay? If you want like some hair hanging down, which would obviously be yarn. But I just added there at the top. It is so cute and adorable. I love it. It really looks elongated, just like a real horse, which I love so much. Let's see. Ladybug is clapping with its antennas. Yes, it kind of is, isn't it? It totally is unique. I agree with that. Oh, I love this comment so much. I also love your name. Are you kidding me? It kind of fits with your comment. It really does. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go to the next one. The next one is this one right here, which is the shark, right? The shark's inspired by the dolphin I had made last year, which I'll show you later. So this is the dolphin inspired pattern turned into a shark, which I love. The shark is so cute with the teeth there at the front. It's not very scary, right? I made the eyes a little bit smaller, but you're welcome to make them bigger if you want it more scary like. Mine is supposed to be a little bit cutesy, so my sharky is not super duper scary. You can also add the bottom part of the teeth down here if you wish, right? If you wanted to make it a little scarier, right? I just added the top part of it because there's your face, right? But you can add it a little bit, like add an extension to it, make it underneath, and that would be another possibility. Maybe something to think about. Okay, then someone was asking for the foxy. Here's Mr. Fox. What did the fox say? The fox says, go check out the ebook. Anyways, that's up to you. But this one is cute and adorable. I love it so much. You probably like it as much as I do because it really looks almost realistic with the snout there in the front, right? And I added the eyebrows to kind of shape the eyes. It is not really eyebrows. You know how the fox looks like, right? It's kind of like shaping the eye part of it. But if you want to call them eyebrows, go for it. And then we have the ducky. It's so cute. This one was inspired by the chickie that I made before. Someone was asking, what about a ducky? This one is a ducky, right? Look at the mouth kind of like snapping there in the front, right? And you could make it even double layered and then add like a squeaker on the inside if you really wanted to make it like a squeaky duck, right? You could. I mentioned it last time. There are some squeakers that you can use to make that happen. It's so cute. This one is adorable. Look at the little hairs there at the top and the wings flapping around. It's so cute. All right, and then we have this guy right here, which we did today, Mr. Dino, right? You can see Mr. T-Rex with his little arms, but as I said, you could turn it into a dragon too by using wings, right? Mine is a T-Rex inspired dino, but as I said, you could turn it into a dragon as well. All right, and then we have the bee, which has a stinger on the back because my son says bees have stingers, which they do, and a lot of amigurumis don't have stingers, so he was upset about that. It's like they need to have a stinger. So the bee gets a stinger, of course, and has the wings flying and moving around, right? It's obviously so cute. And then the very last one is so adorable. I love it. It's a glow-in-the-dark alien. Of course it had a glow-in-the-dark, right? So if you're wearing this for Halloween, you may want to take a flashlight with you, light this baby up, right? And then maybe even you open the door for trick or treat, right? You have the light, make sure you light it up beforehand, turn the light off after, and then it glows, and then you make the ears move. Oh, wouldn't that be fun? I am sure that all the trick or treaters are going to be and then forgot what they wanted to say. Trick or treat! Maybe you say it in response, like trick or treat, Right? It's so fun. Anyways, this would be really fun for Halloween. I think all of these are fun for Halloween, and it's coming up. Halloween's coming up. It's not far, like a month-ish away, right? And of course, these also make great hats just for the winter, right? Simply as a gift, maybe for the holidays. You could sell it if you wanted to. Not the patterns, but the physical makes you make from it. You're allowed to sell. But these are super duper fun, right? So let me show you all of them in a combination right here, right? These are all 9 of them. They're in this collection right here. So, did I say 9? I meant 15. Why did I say 9? Because there's 9 videos. At least 9 videos included. Did I say 9? Anyways, there are 15 patterns in this new ebook called Moving Creatures Hats Made Easy. This is volume 3 of the moving hats, okay? So 15 moving hats in this volume, but if you want more, we also have volume 2 right here. So if you want to get that at the same time at a deal, you can. If you get this guy right here, the volume 3 with that coupon code, then you can get this one on sale at the same time. If you get it separately, it's not on sale, but you have to get it at the same time, then you can get both on sale. I made it that way so you save more money, right? You can main this way get an extra deal out of it, right? But these are the extra 15, which is volume 2. And if you want even more, you might even want to check out volume 1, which is from 2 years ago. This is how we all started. This is went viral, literally viral. And this one went really crazy. We have Santa in there. We have a skeleton, snowman, an owl, a penguin. The penguin is extremely popular. We have a doggy, a kitty cat, an elf, a jack-o'-lantern, and of course the bunny. The bunny is how it all started, because about 3-ish years ago, you may have seen on TikTok or social media the bunny, the moving bunny hat, and it went crazy for the teens. Everyone was wearing it. You went to some kind of fair, you probably, like a county fair or something, you probably saw the bunny hat, okay? You saw it everywhere. Literally, that was the most popular one. There was some other ones out there too, but this one was the most popular one. So of course, I made a version of that in crochet, and that's how this started. Once I was able to find the air pumps, it was like non-negotiable. We're making this happen, okay? And I love it so much. It really turned great. So this is volume 1, then this is volume 2, and then this is volume 3, our brand new version. Let's see. Rebecca says, is the scarecrow hat the same as the witch hat? In terms of the pattern, almost. As I said, it doesn't have that front loop, but very similar. Yes, it's very similar style. So if you look at it closely, you can see it, right? The color changing part of it is very similar, obviously different colors, right? The extension part's a bit longer. Obviously, you're adding the straws to it and stuff. The hat is not the same. It's smaller for the scarecrow. So a little bit different, but yeah, you could use the witch hat as an inspiration for it. But I did it differently, obviously. Completely different. Rebecca says, I love all of these moving hats. 2 exclamation points. Me too. They're so fun. I love them so much. Let's see. Someone said something about a cow. Yes, the cow is in volume 2, in case you didn't see it. Okay, let's talk about the ebook itself for a second. Now that you know which patterns are included, I do want to point out that this ebook is ad-free and printer-friendly with large font. So let me show you. I have mine printed out, so you can see it right here. It's printed out, right? All the pages right here, double side. You can turn it into spiral. I have a video for that to make it, you know, easy peasy. Make it into your own spiral. This one is really cool to put together. So if you want to have it printed, you can. Look how large the font is. It's super duper large. So it's size 14. Make it easy to read. But it has, for the digital file, it feels like an app, like a learning program, because it has clickable buttons. And I'll show it to you and demonstrate it to you in a second too. We have the table of content that is clickable. You have anything that's blue. Do you see all those blue lines? Lines, right? The words. Those are clickable. Those are clickable links that you can use to tap and jump right to the material list or the videos. Whatever it is, it's right there. And then you have that purple main menu button, which jumps back to the table of content, making it is extremely user-friendly. Look at you, Lynn! You got them all! Woohoo! I'm so happy for you, Lynn. I'm so glad you let us know. Thank you for letting us know. I love celebrating y'all. Okay, so let me show you how this looks like in reality on my iPad, because I have that here, so that way you can see the digital file. A second to load. There we go. So this is the table of content. You can see this is literally the version. It's a PDF. I open it in iBooks. So make sure you open the PDF in a PDF reader. There's plenty of free ones out there. As I said, iBooks, Kindle, there is Adobe, right? Plenty of different versions of them. You have to open it in some kind of PDF reader. Otherwise, the links won't work. If you open it in preview, like I know Macs do that sometimes, like Apple products sometimes open in preview. If it opens in preview, it ain't gonna work. A preview is literally a preview. It doesn't make it functional. That's why it's called a preview, right? You actually have to open it in a PDF reader, right? So, and I made it as a PDF, not as an EPUB, like a normal ebook would be an EPUB, right? EPUB would mean that you can't print it. So that's why I didn't make it ebook, an EPUB. I made it into PDF so you can use it as an ebook, but also print it. So I made it functional for you, okay? So anyways, this is clickable. So for example, if you tap on important info about the mechanism, the moving mechanism, right? The air pumps. So it kind of shows you up close on how they look like. If you tap that link, it has, within Amazon, there's plenty of different stores. They all sell it. So I put them all together in one location. So therefore, you can find whichever is the best price for you. They're all the same. Just find the best price for you, because that price is different depending on your location. I have noticed that so many times, where a set of 20, which by the way is very common to see, a set of 20, which would mean 2 per hat. So it means 10 hats per set. You get what I'm saying, right? So 20 air pumps makes 10 hats, right? Because you have 2 per hat. So some of the 20 sets are like $10. I have seen sometimes for $5. I have sometimes seen it for $3. Then sometimes I've seen it for $18. I've seen it for $13. That number goes up and down, and also depends on the store. It depends on the demand. So think about that, okay? So I put them all together in one list. Make it easy peasy. So just tap that link, that blue link right there, and it'll jump you over, and then you can explore and figure out what you want. I even added, for those who are not in the US, I added extra links before the download section. Before you download this, I added links there for UK and Canada, I believe, so that way you can find them there as well and purchase from there. So let's say you're in Europe or Canada, you might want to purchase from your own Amazon versus the US Amazon, you know, tariff and all, whatever, taxes, and shipping, of course. Okay, so once you're done with this information, right, you tap the main menu button, and boop, and you jump right back. See, you don't have to scroll like a squirrel. And then of course you have here all the patterns. So for example, we just did the Dino. So if I tap on the Dino, you can see that right here, right? Anything that's blue, there's an additional link right now there because I added it for this video right here. It's added there. And then of course you see the large font size, right? And of course has multiple pages. And then of course you tap the main menu button, and then boop, you jump right back to it, right? So you literally can go back and forth, okay? Let's see. Connie says, love the video, keeps buffering. I'm so sad. Connie, as I said, hop over to YouTube. YouTube is not having the buffering issues. It's a Facebook issue. So let's see. You don't have another question here, though. Let's answer Connie's question. I started the mystery witch hat. I don't want to make the witch. Is there something else I can turn the black and white cap into? Maybe. I mean, you can look. I don't know if one of them inspires you. Maybe. I would maybe think about, I don't know if a, skeleton may work for you. I don't know. You could turn it into a version of a scarecrow. Maybe your scarecrow looks a little bit differently, right? Maybe that might work for you. There's a lot of things. Otherwise, you can just, rip part of it out and change the colors up a little bit, and then you can keep going. Hopefully that makes sense a little bit. But Connie, hop over to YouTube because YouTube doesn't have the buffering issues. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I wanted to tell you all about that so you can see how this looks like in reality. I also want to show you a couple of reviews that I have gotten. So here are some of the reviews I've gotten in the last from volume 2. Once you have a review for volume 3, you let me know, right? You're gonna put it into below the download section. Once you purchase the ebook, below the download section, there's a little box that says, do you want to leave your feedback, like your review? You can leave your review right there, and then I can share it with everyone else. So if you have a review, that is not for support, by the way, because I can't send you a message from that. Okay, it's not for support, but it is for feedback. Okay, but anyway, so like a review, if you want to leave a review, this is where I got these from. Okay, so for example, we have Nana. She says, I am excited about making these hats for my little cousins. They're going to love them. What an excellent crochet creator you are. Thank you. I saw some of the other items you have designed, and you're so special. Thank you, Nana. And then we have Elizabeth, and she says, I love this ebook. I can't wait to start crocheting. My grandkids will flip for these. Thank you so much. And then Lori's, oh my God, Lori's is one of my favorite comments that I've gotten. And she says, I'm enjoying the ebook. Brilliant ideas. I'm making this hat for all my grandkids. Okay, so pay attention. For all her grandkids. So that way she can use it, right? They can put it on to put a smile on her great-grandson's 9-month-old face. He's not 9 months old anymore, but oh my gosh, can you imagine the entire, it's like a family affair. They're all moving their hats and the baby sitting in a center just giggling around. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be fun? Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I don't know. I just think this would be like a whole family thing. That would be so fun. Perfect maybe for Halloween, right? What a great idea. I love these. Can't wait to make them for my grandchildren. Thank you, Denise. Yes, thank you so much for leaving all these reviews. That means a lot to me. So what do you think? Want to grab these hats? You only have until tonight. So I think it's time for some prices. Are we ready for some prices? I mentioned we're going to have prices today. So we're going to go into the prices so you know exactly what you have a chance to win. So stay here. I am so excited. Okay, so what we're going to do is first we're going to review all the prices that you have a chance to win. Okay, so we have 10, 20, or $30 Ravelry coupon code, 5 or 10 PDF patterns from my Ravelry store at your own choice, which one you want to pick. Then you also have 10, 15, or $20 off an ebook of your choice. I have 35 different ebooks, many to pick from, right? And then we also have a free yarn box right there that you can also have a chance to win if you're in the US. If you land on this and you're not in the US, you get an ebook instead. Okay, because of shipping and all that stuff. So let me show you what's inside one of these yarn boxes. Typically, I only send out these boxes for The Crochet Club member and your members that live in the US at a special time of the year, like 5 times a year. Otherwise, these are gifts for giveaways, okay? So you have a chance to either get one of these pouches. It's a mystery box. You don't know which one you're getting. It's either the pouch or the drawstring bag. Okay. Then we have on the inside, currently this is how it looks like. It may change in the near future. We have a little paper right there, which is super fun. That gives you some details about the Crochet Club, a business card you can hand to your friends and say, look what I just joined. A pair of scissors, of course. We also have a hook, a random size hook. I try to pick like, ergonomic hooks. Then we have a pin that you can add to your, project bag or something. And then if you have journals, anyone having journals, you can add your stickers. Then we have a measuring tape that is also a keychain. Do you want to do more journal stuff? Let me know if you're interested in some journal stuff. Anyways, there's also stitch markers, and then it's one of the others. It's either a magnet, as you can see, it was just magnetic, right? A magnet that I like to put on my fridge, or another keychain that you can add onto it and, write down, yay, I'm a Crochet Club member. Anyways, and a tapestry needle, and also some mystery yarn, typically 1 to 3 skeins, depending how big the skein is. That's what's inside the box. Woohoo! Okay, so that's currently how it looks like. Again, there's one or the other sometimes, right? But it may change in the future slightly. You don't know yet what. All right, are you guys ready? Let's go to the questions. You do have a couple of rules. Number 1, answer 1 time per question. Number 2, if you just recently won within the last month or so, please don't answer. Give everyone else a chance. Just answer 1 time per question, and you only have a chance to win 1 time per month, if that makes sense. Okay? So are you guys ready for question number one? Question number one, typey, very quickly. What pattern did we crochet at the beginning of this video? I know you know this answer. It's going to be one of the 15. Do you know which one? Were you here when we went through it? I sure hope you were. Let me know, what is the answer to this question? We've had this question every day, but the answer is different every single time. I'm going to take a sip of water here. So that way, you guys have enough time to typey. I see J.A. Shaw. She says, I love all your patterns, so clever and different. Thank you so much. And Lynn says, how long does it take to get an email? Lynn, for the patterns, you should get it within 2 minutes. You may want to check your junk folder. Sometimes it goes in there. And if you still don't see it, you email me. And then I will get you access as soon as possible. As soon as I'm done and I see your email, then I get you access. I'm very quickly responding. So Lynn, if you don't see the email in your junk folder or within the next few minutes, email me and I'll get you access. Sounds good? Okay. All right. It looks like everyone knows the answer. Whoop, whoop. Okay. I'm going to remove the question now, and that way we can find our winner. I'm going to cover my eyes so that way it's fair. All right. Mouse is in the right position. So here we go. Scrolling up and down, and let's find our winner. Are you guys ready? Here we go. I'm going to stop right here. We have Tammy Shipwash. I like your name. Okay, congratulations, Tammy. Yay! Okay, let's see what Tammy won. Tammy won, according to this spinny wheel. Come on, spinny wheel. Work for me. There we go. Spinny wheel says you won. Where does it say? It looks like our $30 Ravi coupon code. Yay, Tammy! I'm so happy for you. Stay here. I'm going to show you my email address in a second so that way you know how to get in contact with me, okay? Because you got to know how to get, your price in the end. Okay, are you ready for question number 2? Okay, question number 2. Your fingers should be warm. Question number 2. This is question number 2. What makes the hats move in the ebook? Come on, we talked about that quite a bit now. So you should know. We've been talking for the last 5 days about these moving hats. But the question from me to you is, how do they move? How do they move? How are we making them move? Is it with yarn? Is it with a hook? Or is it with something else? I mean, technically you could make the hats without being moving. But if you are making them moving, what makes them move? Let me know. Typey. So here we go. It looks like most of you guys know the answer. I'm going to give you a little bit more time. In the meantime, I'm going to take another sip of water, because talking a lot makes my throat dry. All right, looks like I think we got some good answers here. All of them are correct. Woohoo! Now it's just a question of who wins, right? Okay, let's find our winner. Here we go. I'm going to cover my eyes. And then mouse is in the right position. And scroll. Up and down. And let's stop right. How about here? We have Charlie Taggart. Charlie, did you win recently? Maybe it was a different Charlie. I feel like I had the Charlie name before. Anyway, congratulations, Charlie! Woohoo! Okay, let's see what Charlie won. Here we go. The spinny wheel decides what Charlie won. And it looks like, another $30 Ravi coupon code. Woohoo! That's a great prize, because that means you're going to get a lot of patterns from my Ravi store. I like that one. Congratulations, Charlie! Let's go to one more question. I know I said we're only going to do 3 questions if we get to 100 viewers. We didn't, but it's the last day, so we're going to do a little extra bonus one. Let's do this. Okay, question number 3. Are you ready? Question number 3 is, Name one feature you love about this ebook right here, volume 3. What is a feature that you love? You can talk about the patterns. You can talk about the actual ebook. Tell me one feature that you love about the ebook. Typey, typey, typey. Add that into the comments. Come on. There's not really a wrong answer unless you go completely off rails and you talk about something that has nothing to do with the ebook. But otherwise, there's plenty of things you can say that I am not going to disagree with. Name fun feature that you love about this ebook. I gave you all the different features, including the patterns. So let me know. Name one feature that you love about the ebook. Let's see what you have to say. I would love to know. Usually what people do is if they're, pressured into a quick answer, in this case it's kind of a pressure because it's time pressure, then usually people think of the very first thing as their favorite thing, and that usually tells me a lot. And that's kind of why I do these questions, because you guys give me insight into your brain, because you probably love a lot of things about the ebook, but you telling me right now what you think first is probably something that you love absolutely the most, right? And so that can be very helpful for me. All right, so here we go. Let's remove question number 3 and let's find a winner. Make sure you stay till the end because I have something else to say. Okay, I'm going to cover my eyes. I just need to make sure mouse is in the right position. Okay, here we go. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. So here we go. Who has an answer that applies to the question? I'm going to stop right. How about we're going to stop right here. We have Rebecca. Just have to check for a second that is correct. Yes, Rebecca Clark. Yay! She says the video and the large font. She actually gave me 2 of them. So, hey, I'll take it. Most of you guys said, though, looks like clickable links, easy layout. What else does I see? Video tutorials, hyperlinks. Yes, the clickable links are the biggest one, and large font. That's what I see a lot. So let's see what Rebecca won. Here we go. Rebecca won. Looks like 10 PDF patterns of your choice. Woohoo! Congratulations to all the winners. I am so happy for you. Okay, so let me show you my email address because you got to know how to get in contact with me. Don't go away yet just yet, okay? So here's my email address for all the winners. I need you to write in the subject line, winner of, and the price and the date. Okay, 3 information I need from you. Winner of the price and the date in the subject line. Then into the email, I need you to take a picture of you winning and what price. So that way I can confirm it, right? It's like a confirmation. Your picture should show your name and the price. Please do that. That way I don't have to go back to my video. You're making my life easier. And if you make my life easier, you get your price faster. Do you see what I'm going with? Right? We're making it work together as the winners, right? Anyways, so go ahead and email me if you're a winner. Give me in the subject line, winner of the price and the date, and in the email, text, you can add something in the actual email, but as important is that I have a picture of you winning with the price shown, okay? Please do that. So that way you get your price very quickly, okay? Now, if anyone has a question about the ebook, the patterns, the air pumps, etc., email me, okay? Nicole@nickishomemacrafts.com. Email me, and that way I can get back to you very quickly. And then, of course, we have to celebrate Rosa. She's excited to make these for her grandkids. She got the ebook, volume 2 and 3 together. Woohoo! All right, so if anyone else is grabbing the ebook, this is the time to do it, okay? This is volume 3 right here on sale, moving 15 for $15 off until tonight, September 24th, 2025. So think of it like, hey, if you're like Cinderella and you're leaving something behind, would be, this, then you're going to lose something, right? In her case, it was a shoe. Here, you may lose out on getting this ebook on sale. The ebook's not going anywhere. It's here to stay, but the coupon code is disappearing, okay? So make sure you grab it by tonight, and that way you don't miss out. And if you want to grab volume 2 at the same time, which is also on sale, but only if you get volume 3 at the same time. I'm making it a like a one sum. That way you don't have to search for anything. I'm making it easy peasy for you. Get both of them on sale at the same time, okay? Grab this one and this one at the same time, and therefore you have no problems. Beverly, will you please email me about the squeakers, because I don't have it ready here. Email me and I will get you the link to the squeakers, okay? No worries about that. And I also have the option, if you wanted to, get this ebook as well. This is volume 1. Then this is volume 2, and then this is volume 3. If you have all 3 of them, you have 40 moving hats. But this is the main one on sale right now. So make sure you grab it before the end of the day, so that way you're not missing out. And you're also going to be able to make these really popular viral crochet hats. I am so excited for you to all make them with me. I mean, they're so fun. Like, seriously so fun. I hope to see you back here very soon. We're going to have a new live crochet along being announced in a few days. So make sure you're on my email list so that way you're not missing out on it. It's going to be a free live crochet along. That means you get the patterns with live tutorials at the same time. I'm excited for that. So be sure to be on my newsletter. Otherwise, go grab this ebook before the sale ends. I hope you have a wonderful day. Keep on smiling, be positive, and happy hooking. Bye-bye.